Yes.
Just, yeah.
Very beautiful. What's your business?
We're registrars. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, we do births, deaths, and marriages here.
Okay, the registration of births.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
right.
it. Yeah, that's what we do
Okay.
here.
Did you know that the registration is actually like a handing it over to the crown?
Oh, yeah.
Regis means to give it over,
Oh,
authority
yeah,
of the crown, which is why on the birth certificate it says name of informant, which is kind of like
they're the ones informing the information too.
giving the information. Yeah. So I'm in a northern town called Stafford. I have to say this could have easily been done after the fact, but it's got that 1870s kind of date mark. All of this will be cladding behind a pretty thick wall. There's some red brick behind this, and of course this is raised up because the floor level, the builders were clever and they thought, oh well, let's just build our building up a little bit, 3 steps, just to make it a little bit more interesting for passers-by. This is obviously bricked in later. Just doing a quick walkabout here in Stafford, and I thought I'd give you a little video. My main channel's on the strike, so this will go on the backup channel, the Trinities, which is a channel all in its own. That'll be former window closed in. Same with this building. This is the town hall. You know, I haven't looked at this before, but I'm just going to walk and talk, and you know, you can make your own mind up. But oh look, peek downstairs there to the Lloyd's Bank vault. That's a whole underfloor. Building underground is really difficult, and if you don't have heavy digging to the floor level, just if you don't have heavy lifting material digging, it's like, wow, you're making a whole lot of effort for yourself. But in this case, they've had to close in what would have been windows. Obviously you can see there's the remains of a window there, and the remains of a window which seems to have come to this level, and then here we are at the floor. There was that mudflood video from Kingston or some other house that we went to recently, and they were trying to explain it made sense to put the windows in at ground level. It doesn't make sense, of course, and nor does this make sense. It's just a trap for crap and water. It's just really difficult. So they've had to build this up 4 or 5 steps to get to what is a less than impressive doorway for this building. But this is cladding, aftermarket cladding. Close that in, close this in. Were they windows before? Because the ground floor would have been beneath my feet by, well, as you saw with that building over there, it's at least 5 feet, maybe more. This was the first one that caught my eye, and I thought, oh well, I better make a video, because this, people will try and excuse this away and say they were wanting to take coal and whatnot into that, but this glass is to provide a little bit of lighting to the basement below. Obviously that's a closed in window. Again, you've got to have some stairs up to the floor level. They've taken this window and turned it into some kind of secure door, which no, it's maybe not a door, it's just got some kind of ventilation system sitting inside of it. And this one's interesting because they have given you a ground floor without any need for steps. But this will obviously be the basement. So I think this will be I think this will be an altered floor level to this building here. It will be altered. And these windows will be new windows made to fit with this floor level, which I suspect if you walked in there, don't know if I can, but if you did, probably closed, but if you did, you'll probably find that its floor, it's it's wood. That feels pretty solid. Yeah, listen to that. It's a wooden floor. Wooden floor. Oh no, thanks. I'm an architect student and I like going around old buildings and checking them out.
No worries.
I hope you don't mind. I noticed this is a wooden floor.
Yes, well, I've never looked underneath, but you can see, more so in here really, as the floor goes in.
Yeah.
You sort of look at the indents of I guess it's like parking the floor underneath there.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, but it sounds...
In some places you can see like the indent of the...
Is it hollow?
Yeah.
Like, is there a basement? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Just
Down a few stairs, yeah.
Basement there,
Beautiful.
Yeah. Mm.
I love this old architecture. Is this 1800s, late 1800s?
Oh, no, that's no.
I think this concrete work is done in the late 1800s.
Yeah, but they still, before, well, obviously we've only been here a few months, since March.
Okay.
But prior to that, a fair few years ago, it used to be the judge's house.
Okay.
Because the court was next door.
Okay.
So I used to live here and then...
The judges lived here?
Hop through the door to
Really?
work, yeah.
Go and
Yeah.
administer justice.
Mm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Very beautiful. What's your business?
We're registrars. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, we do births, deaths and marriages here.
Okay, the registration of births.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
right.
it, yeah. That's what we do
Okay.
here.
Did you know that the registration is actually like a handing it over to the crown?
Oh, yeah.
Regis means to give it over, the
Oh,
authority
yeah,
of the crown, which is why on the birth certificate it says name of informant, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
kind
so
of
I
like
think they're the ones informing the information too.
giving the information to
Yeah,
the thing, and it means that it's how the the heartbreak when I got home and I realized that I'd lost 3 or 4 minutes of conversation with that lady. I talked to her about the capitalization of our name. She explained that it is so as to be clear there can be no mistaking of which letters of the alphabet or the name is. So I told her about the legal fiction, and just dropped a couple of bombs on her. Kept it very polite. I didn't want to upset her, but I am gutted. Because I caught such a great conversation. I thought this was gold. But unfortunately, I'd run out of memory on my phone, which is why you might notice me doing a bit of a data dump. I've got a couple of hours of activism videos that I'd never cleared off my phone. And why haven't I cleared my phone onto the laptop? Well, turns out my phone is too old to dump videos onto my laptop, so that's been causing me a problem over the last few months. So there you go. I then went on to have another fantastic conversation, which I did catch on video because I cleared a little bit of memory down off the phone. So that comes up a little later. Enjoy. I ran out of memory, but yeah, it's really pokey stairs that they've had to do as a retrofit. And as I pointed out to that lady in the registry office, that cement work, that concrete work was all done by the people who reclaimed these, and they've refixed them so that the stairs fit the new floors and whatnot. But it's concrete. We're told that concrete came, I think, later than these guys were doing this work. But all the way along here, all of this is dug into the ground, or the ground level risen up. But the extent of the works here to dig all of this into the ground makes absolutely no sense. It's a vast amount of work, and it's a vast amount of dig out, and it extends across this town and thousands of towns like it in the world. Where would all that dirt have been moved to? By whom? And why? Why not just simply start from the ground and work your way up? It's so much easier. Even with lifting gear, even with heavy lifting gear, it would be so much easier. I'll backtrack a little bit here. The doghouse. So this doghouse, as you go along here, the window getting a little bit higher and higher as I go. So if you stepped in here, I think you would find the stairs to get up to the floor level. This will be a refixed. All of this frontage would have been done much later. All of this frontage is covering up the basements beneath. Whatever floats your boat. Spider-Man coming to help in that. The child. Oh man, just take the jab, eh? What a structure. Yeah, you know, the amount of work just to reclad this building on its own. Yeah, strange little wall. At St. Chad's. There's some antiquitech that seems to be, would have been on the roof at some point, or a roof, because it's quite low. Or that piece was added to like what looks like a war memorial, the Great War of 2020. Yeah, it's a bit of a beauty, eh? Really. I'm going to suggest that this is also obviously going to have its own basement. Whoa, serious door knock. Boom. Oh, look at this one. Like a mace. Part of a tourist system, maybe? And this. Wow, I've got that from France. That same shape. I wonder if I've still got it on my phone. I'll try and pick it out and add it into this video right here. Oh, this is the main domain. Some off-piste areas there, no access. Quite a bit that. Common folk. Not done all the work. That's pretty. I would admit. 1800s, is it? Is it? Or is it really that, or is it before that? I mean, I don't have a true beat on that. I know these things maybe fade over time, and the lead doesn't hold up over time. So, arguably, it's that old, 1800s and not older, but it's quite a lot of work that people who you'd expect the people who did this building to have done that, but I guess they do services here, worshipping the dead. So much iconography. I'm sure Jesus was against this.
En règle générale, au moins deux choses surprennent quand on entre dans cette église pour la première fois. Les vitraux que je vais garder pour la fin, et puis les dimensions en général, la hauteur en particulier. C'est une des églises cisterciennes les plus hautes. Je parle de celle construite au XIIe siècle. Si vous visitez les églises cisterciennes construites plus tard, vous trouverez
Lots of symbolism in there.
par contre, en visitant les églises cisterciennes plus tardives.
There are threes backwards, aren't they? See that? I mean, I know obviously it's pretty and it's strong and what have you, but it's that's not cool. Yeah. Or maybe it means that the war against terror. That's what they're referring to. But yeah, the way this is butted together too is anyway. This is definitely pretty ancient. Is it as old as the cladding of the other buildings, or is it older? And this is where I wonder whether there weren't two mud floods in fairly short succession. It's just a theory, of course. St. Chad's, founded 1150 and restored right in the period right in the period that we're always interested in seeing so much activity. So this restoration might be 1850s or 60s, but seems pretty weather beaten for that era. So like this bit looks new, you know, like 1850, 1870. And maybe this blacking is just something to do with, rather creepy, but maybe that's something to do with its position or the stone that was used, but maybe that is more original. And then this doorway was finished so that they could create the steps. So what they've done at the Swan Hotel is, because people come out of here drunk, is they don't have steps, they've got a ramp, gradual ramp. You may not be able to discern that, but there's at least 3 steps of ramping from this point here up to the floor level, which means that under here will be basement. Under there, can't see my hand, but under here at this point will be basement. As you can see, the lady standing up there, but this is all basement. Just no doubt in my mind. And again, it'll be easy to prove it. People will say it's because. Hi. What a beautiful old building.
Thank you.
I'm a student of architecture, and
Okay.
I'm just fascinated by these old buildings.
Wonderful.
There's definitely a basement below, isn't there?
There is, yeah. You've got basements, cellars all down below.
Okay.
And there used to be a tunnel that went from here to St Mary's Church.
Wow.
But that is blocked up now.
It's been blocked
unfortunately.
up,
I couldn't tell you where it is downstairs,
okay.
but it is blocked
Well,
up.
thank you for the information.
Really?
Is it just one basement, or would there be a second
It is
basement?
kind of like joins up at the middle, so it goes all the way down underneath the hotel. I've got a history book if you wanted one of the building.
Can I take one away?
Of course you can.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely fine.
Oh, it's just magnificent. Old architecture. They don't build them like they used to,
They
eh?
don't, unfortunately, do they?
And what do you think the reason was for having the tunnel?
I'm not
Thank
too
you.
sure. I'm sure it's got information in there about it.
Thank you
for
so much.
No
What's your name,
problem,
Sarah?
Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah.
No problem.
Have a nice day. Merry, happy New Year. Well, my little complimentary takeaway. So there's a tunnel. There's a tunnel, which would have been a corridor, I think. I mean, really, you know, just the amount. It takes us 20 years to kind of decide to build a tunnel underground nowadays. But they've got a tunnel running from the Swan Hotel all the way up the road there to St Mary's, which I can't tell you exactly how far that is, but I'm going to suggest it's at least 100 meters up this road. There's a tunnel blocked off because of health and safety concerns, of course. Well, isn't this Stafford a little gem? A brief history. Energy harvesting device. Say what? Yeah, again, that makes no sense in the real world to create this nasty little step down into this doorway for whatever reason you might want to make. I should say excuse, because really that's all that is. I think these I've established this before in earlier videos, but this work here is designed to make this look like this was intended to be the bottom of the building. So this is added on. This is all retrofit. It doesn't go all the way through, it just ends here. Look at that. It's hard to get a sense of how narrow this is, but my shoulders are pretty much touching both sides. We see a similar form there with the 3s upside down, but look at that step. So you can see what they've done is they've taken this right up into this cladding. It actually goes into the doorway area, and that cladding just messes with this whole step. So this is later than this, which is why I think it's kind of there's two sets of retrofitting going on here. That's a beautiful example of it, though, isn't it? Wow, I didn't walk around here before. I filmed it. That's a classic. So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter where you go, you will find ample evidence. This little cringe candle. All of a sudden, you step down into a sort of courtyard, which is a few feet below this building, and we just find reasons to say, yeah, that's because they weren't that clever. They built like that. This is unfortunately locked. Yeah, like most of these buildings nowadays. Whoa. So yeah, would you really do that? The nave, what do they call it? The place beneath. Yeah, you'll be telling me now. I can't remember it, but that just makes absolutely no sense. You see that a lot though. Well, then that's what they were all doing back in the day in the 1700s. They were digging down into the ground because it was so easy for them. So this looks like a new doorway, and you can see that stonework there above the door the blackening on it. You could say that's just because of spillage over this. You could say that, but I'm fairly sure that this will be a later addition. This door was not original to the building. I'll quickly poke around here. The family are waiting for me. This is another interesting thing where they used these slabs as part of the floor. They haven't bothered with the crenellations along here. They have bothered to block that window in there. Too much effort to maintain, and it might have been one of the original doors actually, or the remnants of it. Wow, it's just pretty. I love the look of it, it's got Gothic kind of stink about it, doesn't it? But yeah, then they don't bother with this stuff over there, and the height's all off with the ground. The door, let's see if this one's probably locked as well. Yeah. Oh, it's like a little human door, yeah. Anyway, 85 years old. No, they didn't live very long. Yeah, right. Keep peddling the dogma. But it's it's just interesting here in Stafford, and it's so many places are like it. So many. It's just too much work for tiny populations with limited resources. Why don't we do it like this now? Oh, we just don't bother with it, we don't care. Oh, these guys were just super religious. That's the excuse. Piety and all of that. Oh well, that'll do for now. Not even a cool story. Up we go. The new floor, and it's a pub now. Another way of hiding it is give it to the drunks. They won't ask too many questions. Beer kegs, that's what we need it for, down below, beer kegs. And you heard what that lady said in the shop, 100 metre more. I said it was 100 metres, I think it's longer. Tunnel. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? But I think that it's building, or that's what seems the most logical to me. It was a building, and it's under a, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but you can see the floors down there are well below my feet level. You can say what you like about your beer kegs and coal bunkers, but it's not even a cool story, bro. Remember when they said plastic bags would only cost 5p? Well, now, if you want to get your vegetables, you have to pay 30p just for a veggie bag. You see, this is sharp edge of the wedge stuff. And it's never going to end. And they're going to continue to blame you for global hoaxing, cooling or whatever. Hey brother, you know those things are bad for you, eh?
What's that?
That thing.
Hold on, let's talk about it.
Sure.
Are you filming me?
If you don't mind,
No, I don't want to be filmed.
I'll film me then.
Yeah, you can
I've
film
got to
me.
turn around.